and welcome back to the Perth to Paisley podcast, episode number 187. We are halfway through the first month of 2025, and Hearts still haven't even conceded. Never mind lost a game. It's going very well. Let's just forget about 2024. Right? It doesn't matter. Who cares? Shite year. It's all about 2025. Hearts travelled to Pittodrie to try and break their curse of just never winning there, and they nearly did it, but didn't. To discuss it and everything else that's happened in the past 7 days, I, as ever, am Daniel McIver, joined by Adam Kennedy. Adam, how you doing?
Yeah, all right, mate. If you'd have offered me a point from Pittodrie pre-kick-off, I probably would have taken that. It's only in the immediate aftermath that it does sting. But as you rightly say, we're going to try and put a positive spin on things. Yet to concede a goal. We've kept three consecutive clean sheets to away and at home to top six teams. Um, it's just offensively, if we can sharpen up, then we might actually start cooking. So yeah, it's just I feel like we're just hitting a glass ceiling at the minute, whereby we should be out of this relegation playoff place, yet something is just dragging us down. Like why is this happening? But hopefully it's only a couple of weeks before we start actually ascending up the league table. But yeah, all right. Um, actually feeling somewhat positive despite a horrendous game of football and one that we easily could have won. What about yourself?
Yeah, not bad at all. As you say, it's really weird to be in a position where we haven't even conceded, and yet we've still not moved up a position in the table. It's a
Just goes to show
testament to
how
this
bad
league.
that start was as well, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
we gave ourselves an absolute mountain to climb, and it's like we've basically stuck our stick in the ground a couple of times, but it's only like a couple steps up the mountain each and every time, whereas we should be a good, I don't know, halfway, three quarters of the way up
Yeah,
it.
whatever. No idea. But unfortunately, we didn't traverse up that league table on Sunday with the nil-nil draw away at Pittodrie. But before that, and before we speak about that, and before we go around the grounds, probably the biggest bit of news that happened this week for Hearts was that the club announced, a wee bit after the other club announced, that Liam Boyce has departed Heart Midlothian to join Derry City. Now, Liam Boyce is the way you speak about Boyce is really weird within the Hearts fan base, in my opinion, because I think he doesn't get near enough the credit he deserves. Obviously, joined in January of 2020. We don't talk about what happened then. However, we can talk about Boyce. Obviously, very iconic debut, getting an assist and then scoring the winner against Rangers when they didn't have a hamstring, which maybe should have been a sign, where it was like, oh, wait now, injuries might be a thing here. But he leaves Hearts in our lifetime as the seventh top goal scorer in the club's history of that point. Uh, a man to, like, bluntly, one of the arguably the only man, but probably not really, to say that they scored the winner against Hibs at Hampden, because who can say they scored the winner in the other games, kind of thing.
Good
Almost
point.
Stephen Kingsley and Boyce, but Boyce gets the assist there, so he's contributed as well. So, like, for me, he's genuinely one of my favourite players ever. I think he's one of the smartest footballers I've ever seen at Hearts. There was the criticism that he didn't score enough goals, but for me, Boyce made everybody better around him whenever he played.
Yeah, it's just sad, isn't it? I mean, I can't believe that's been 5 years when you
Yeah.
actually think about it, that he's been at the football club. Um, I don't want to talk about his first season because that was just
Yeah.
awful. But again, that wasn't his fault. We basically pinned all our hopes on him coming up
Yep.
from Burton Albion to essentially keep us in the
What a
league.
window, by the way. Liam Boyce, Donis Advilai, and Marcel Langer.
Toby
What a
Sippel as well,
January
no?
window. Oh, yeah, of course. Of course.
Um, but yes, I mean, he obviously had that opportunity taken away from him. I would argue that he basically brought us up from the championship single-handedly,
Yeah, that's fair.
um, because of his contribution there and then. And we have actually enjoyed some good times in the top tier since coming back up, and
Yeah.
he's been a large part of that. So yeah, I'll look back on Liam Boyce's spell at Hearts obviously in a positive light. He's obviously been on the podcast as well, which was great. We had
Yeah.
a wee sit down with him as well. So yeah, just a good guy, a good footballer. Um, but ultimately everything has to come to an end. It's weird timing because obviously he's worked his way back into the team, looked really good when he has featured after being written off by a good section of the fan base. Um, and now it's like back-to-back games, and all of a sudden he's packing his bags. So it's sad. He's given us some good times, as you say. Two victories over Hibs at Hampden, which is pretty good to add onto the CV. And yeah, just it's a shame. It's a real shame. He's gonna be a miss. But ultimately we just have to keep moving on and plowing forward, don't we?
Yeah, and as you say, that wee bit where you're saying he's a great guy, like absolutely, he didn't have to come onto the show, but he did a few things like in personal lives. He's been amazing with. He's just the soundest guy ever. And Derry City, the reaction from their fans are that it's a bit of a coup, which I think it is definitely. And I hope he smashes it. And I'll be honest though, there was a part of me that was like, oh, could you know I waited like 2 days? Because Hearts travelled to Aberdeen with new signing, as we spoke about last week, Elton Kabangu finally having his work permit. So he was able to feature. However, it did mean that Hearts were without the guy who'd kind of unlocked the good performances of the last few weeks. But before that, we'll go around the grounds as ever. There was loads of games. There was midweek games that happened with the old firm. Who cares about them? We're
And
just
again,
speaking
you
about.
got that this midweek. I'm just pleased that we're
Oh
finally going to
yeah,
all be caught up to 23
yeah,
games because I hate seeing teams having games in hand or this team, like if they win however many that they've got, it's like I just have it all even
yeah.
and makes things easier.
Exactly. Well, on the Saturday, St Mirren lost in dramatic circumstances to a acrobatic Louis Moult effort to allow Dundee United to get back to winning ways after we battered them 1-0 the week before. Hibs continued David Gray's renaissance with a really comfortable 3-1 win
And
over
annoying.
Motherwell. Celtic left it really late against Ross County, but then kind of just like shot them in the head right at the very end as they ran out 4-1 winners. Then we were the one of two games on the Sunday, and then Rangers in a game that was controversial in terms of off the field stuff, but not controversial on it as they ran out comfortable 3-1 victors. What did you make of the rest of the games?
Um, it's very rare that I get the opportunity to blow my own trumpet. However, I will do. Um, five correct outcomes on who scored this
Well
week,
done.
albeit scores were
Off, but that doesn't
Quest
matter.
questionable. The one I did get correct was St Mirren nil, Dundee United 1. Why St Mirren cannot score against Dundee United this season, I do not know. I think that's now 4 games where United have kept clean sheets against them. St Mirren fans must be absolutely raging because obviously it's Jim Goodwin, their former manager, and his United team. Um, Elsewhere, you're right because I watched Celtic up in Dingwall and I actually thought the Ross County were gonna nick a
Get
point
something.
or yeah, get something, which would have been even more annoying for our cause as we try and
Yeah, I was thinking when I
pull
saw them
away.
equalise and it was like the 80th minute, I was like, what are you doing? Go away.
It's like that Frank Lampard meme minute where it's like the
Yes.
instant happy face and then he's gonna frowning.
It's
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 like,
some laugh that Ross
oh,
County are getting points, but
Celtic could
seriously,
drop
we might get
points,
relegated.
but no, this is to Hearts' detriment.
Yeah,
Um, the scoreline obviously then is far more comfortable than the game actually suggests.
yeah.
As was the case at Easter Road. I mean, Motherwell, man, what like?
You see Kettlewell's comments after the game?
No, what did he say?
The first thing he said was, I've just bought a new keeper and he's chucked two in. He was like, he'll learn from it, but he better learn from it. And I saw loads of Motherwell fans being like, so, because apparently O'Donnell and Halliday and stuff like that had really bad games. And
Oh my God, I see Halliday's pass for the first goal.
I've seen nothing from
Oh my
those
God, I
highlights.
see the clip. I think it's from Goggsy's vlog, and Halliday's literally on the edge of the box, just plays an aimless pass. And it's picked up by the Hib centre half. They
Well,
work
that's
out
what
to the
the
work
Motherwell
out to the
fans.
flank again, and
Yeah,
then cross back stick Boyle bang. It's like,
The Motherwell fan seems really angry with that, being like, you're throwing a new guy 2 days in the door under the bus, but like experienced pros that are constantly being poor, he's not said anything about. And that's now
I hadn't,
Kettlewell, like kind of a few weeks in a row, is saying stuff that Motherwell fans are getting pissed off about.
I hadn't seen that. That's interesting. Um, so what was it? It was just the three Saturday games, wasn't it?
Yes, and
Celtic, Hibs,
then us
and
too.
Dundee United winning, and
Yeah,
then obviously you had Sunday. Um, Rangers just again, their record against St Johnstone is incredibly strong. They usually keep clean sheets against St Johnstone,
yeah.
but what was funny was St Johnstone scoring literally like I think it was a minute. Was it a minute before the mass protest and
I thought
walkout?
it was on the 55th minute. Hold on, I'll check.
I thought I saw
Oh, it was the
54, but anyway,
54th. It was the
yeah.
54th.
But
Oh,
like,
that is gutting. It
yeah.
should have been then. That would have been absolutely class.
That would have been hilarious. I think that this Union Bears talk and walkout thing, I think it's been blown out of proportion, if I'm honest. I think people are entitled to do what they want to do. These guys, like Rangers is their life. They'll follow them home, away, in Europe. They'll spend hundreds and thousands. John, like I don't know if it's just because it's not my club, but as far as I'm concerned, they're entitled to do what they want. I really don't see why there's such a big fanfare.
Well,
Is
likewise,
it
I
because
think it's
it's
also fine that folk be like, well, that's really shite and embarrassing as well.
100%? What this is kind of a gripe that I've got within kind of just the world generally. Like everybody's entitled to an opinion. That's nobody gets on with absolutely everybody. People have discussions, debates. That's to me, I think that's what it should be about. And ultimately, you're never going to appease anybody and everybody. There's players that we disagree on. There's
Yeah.
players that our listeners will disagree on. That's just the way of the world. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. We don't
Aye.
have to all be singing from the same hymn sheet here. So I just say let people do what they want. I really don't think that there's that big an issue. But yeah, in terms of kind of the league generally or the games no real surprises.
No.
Maybe kind of how poor Motherwell were, that Dundee United look to be kind of the favourites for third now, and they're grinding out these results.
Yeah.
Um, and the fact that we were a kick away from winning at Pittodrie for the first time in near a decade. It's just
Well,
never going to happen, is it? It's
no,
never going to happen now.
I have
Consign
fully
yourself to the fact.
resigned myself to
Yeah.
that. It's like, they will never be as. But I've seen us win at Pittodrie, and Aberdeen have played better than that. Like that's the worst I've ever seen
Oh, they
Aberdeen
were
play at Pittodrie
terrible.
against us, and we didn't win. So you know what? It's maybe a good thing because now I can never really get annoyed about ever not winning at Pittodrie because I've just accepted it in life.
Yeah, it's like these grounds like we obviously never used to win at McDermott Park. Now win there
Yeah,
all the time. Never used to win in Paisley for ages.
yeah,
Got a decent recent record there. You hope that eventually it's going to turn, but that was essentially the golden ticket
yeah.
to commence the turning. Because I don't think like even the manner in which it happened you would have just been like a total smash and grab. Like that would have just been amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
But now instead we're having to talk about picking up a point, which isn't necessarily the worst thing, but with that adage of oh, it could have been all three.
Yeah, definitely. So the team that lined up to do so was Craig Gordon in goals, a back. There was actually, I was about to just kind of run through this. It was actually an interesting selection because there was changes that were forced and changes that were not forced that people were opinionated on. The back four was really
That's one way
different.
of putting it.
Back four, half of it was changed. Penrice and Halkett kept their places from the Dundee United win. However, Jamie McCart came in for his first start as a new signing, and Daniel Oyugoki replaced Adam Forrester. At right back, Cammy Devlin and then Benny Beningame came back in as well. Musa Drama, Blair Spittle. I was about to say on the wide flanks, but they're no like wingers. They're like in the four two three
Just
one.
occupy places, don't they?
Yeah, the one of the forwards in behind Wilson, and then George Grant was given Liam Boyce's number 10 role. What did you make of the team? The main thing, I think we spoke to each other as it came out. The main thing was that you were like, "What is he doing with that back line?"
Yes. I do like that Jamie McCart was given a start because ultimately he's going to be here at the end of the window. We still don't know what the situation with High Rolls is. It looks like he's off, but obviously he dropped to the bench for this game, so that's fine if it's going to be Halkett and McCart going forward.
Just a
I
lie,
think
by the
this
way,
is
from Critchley in the pre-match comments, where he was like, "Oh no, it's just because Jamie McCart's trained really well." It's like, "Oh yeah, Kai Rolls has played every second of this season. Jamie McCart's been in the door 5 minutes, but suddenly Jamie McCart is, I mean, it's messy in
I don't,
training." And
like just be honest and say
then
that this is going
after
to
the
be
game,
my
he's
centre
like,
half pairing
"Rolls
going
is
forward.
away." Like,
I know, I know.
what are
Why
they
don't
doing, Neil?
just come out and admit that
It's
pre-match.
mind games.
Um, I did have my concerns regarding Daniel Oyegoke at right back because as I've been beating this drum for a few weeks now, he looks far more competent in the middle than he does as a fullback, and this is another example where that was just evident.
I think this is maybe the peak of that first
Yes,
half an hour is maybe the peak of it.
good lord. I another kind of not gripe, but another kind of thing that I questioned was George Grant and Cammy Devlin have been really good as a pair.
Yeah.
To then push George Grant further forward, and I love Benny Beningame to bits, everybody knows that, but to then push him forward and take away from the Devlin Grant link up, I thought was a bit strange. Um, Albeit we've seen what Cammy Devlin and Benny Beningame can do together. It's not the biggest issue in the world, let's be honest. But I just thought that the two of them had been playing so well in front of that back four. Could you then have given a Jan Danda a chance or a Blair Spittle or somebody kind of occupying that central area? But that being said, Spittle and Penrice work well down the left, so you're not going to tamper with that. You're going to leave him on the flank. Musa Drama is an interesting one. He
He's
and
what I said
Oyegoke,
last week, where he's clearly rubbish, but I love him because he
like
just doesn't know what he's got to do, and that's fun.
he's unorthodox, isn't he? Like earlier on in the season, everybody was kind of moaning about the Forrester and Forrest link up. That is streets ahead of Oyegoke and Musa
I think
Drama
the
for me.
problem is that the left hand side is so good that it,
Yes,
like, even if the right hand
it's
side was
lopsided.
average, you would kind of be like, oh, they don't look as good. But because it's like this side is fantastic, this side is so bad. We have no one on this side.
It is. It's looking like the Titanic, virtually, in
Yeah.
terms of how lopsided. And obviously, young James Wilson. I'm happy to see start, but if we're being honest, he should not be having the amount of minutes that he's currently
Yeah,
having.
I'm really worried about the amount of minutes he's getting.
As am I, because we've seen this with countless youngsters previously where they break in, they initially have that little spell where they might, I don't know, contribute and perform really well, pick up a goal or two or an assist or something, and you think, oh, brilliant, this is it. Finally, we can kind of justify the academy being as long for it's been as it's been open for. And then they get burnt out, and before you know it, they're kicking ball for Stenhouse, Muir, and Elgin. Like
AKA the Harry Cochrane effect.
the Harry Cochran effect, the Anthony McDonald effect,
Yeah,
whoever you want.
Connor Smith.
Connor Smith. So I I think that the 11 made sense, but had we not have got the result that we'd have got, I think we'd have then been slewing the starting 11 more than we are now, if that makes
Yeah,
any
that's fair.
sense.
That's totally fair. So, if you watch that game, you know it wasn't one for the
It wasn't a
ages.
spectacle.
No, it was not.
The amount of neutrals that I had texting me being like, Hearts are absolutely rubbish. They're just lucky that Aberdeen are as bad.
Yeah.
I'm like,
So,
yes, that is one way of putting it.
Adam suggested this. We're doing something a wee bit different. I'm going to be putting to Adam 3 stars and a wish from this performance. So, going for, because it was positive, like as you said, I don't think getting a point away at any ground in this league is a bad result. I think if you go away from home and you get a point, you can't be too gutted about that.
It's within circumstances, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like if you dominate the game, can't break them down, that's annoying to not take the 3 points. If we're lucky to leave with a point or kind of we're chasing the game, score and then take a point rather than being en route to nothing, then
yeah.
yeah, sometimes you do take it. Again, I think it depends on opponent. I also think it depends on our form, depends on the opponent's form. There's a whole multitude of factors
Yeah,
as to why a draw could be considered a good result or not. I think here it's not a happy hunting ground. I think we'd lost something like the last 9 in a row to
We last
Aberdeen
won in
at
something
Pittodrie.
like 2018 or something like that. Like it wasn't
But
just that we hadn't won.
2016 was the last Dowder
Yeah.
win. But then I think
Sorry,
we'd
yeah.
lost
So
we'd
the last
lost
time we
something like the
drew
last, yeah, it was
was
like
2018.
2017 or
Sorry.
something,
Yeah,
December
that's what I meant to
2017 or
say.
something.
Yeah.
It's like
Not only
we
have we
we
not
are
won for years, we've not got
we
any
lose here.
points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, it's like, and they seem to pick up more points at Tynecastle than we do at Pittodrie.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
it's one of them where it's like, again, I said it at the top of the show, I would have taken that pre-match,
Yes,
but
definitely.
circumstances again, it's like, okay, I think they were probably there for the taking, but I also think on that first half performance, they'll judge that we were there for the taking because it took us
Yeah.
a while to get going in this game. That's one thing that could certainly can be said.
So I'm not going to run through every single chance or anything like that. I'm just going to cover the big hitters. The first one is that right at the start, Aberdeen have their main chance. Gordon makes a ridiculous save after the ball's ricocheting about, and the new Aberdeen signing Tobers is the one to just get the last touch towards it and pokes it towards goal. But
I've no
Gordon
idea
does
how they don't
really
score.
well. Yeah, Gordon does great because he's Craig Gordon, basically. That's all it is. 20 minutes later, we have a chance that isn't as clear cut, but we should do better from as well. Penrice does really well, aka Heart of Midlothian 24-25 summary. Penrice does really well to get a ball into the box. Grant then just completely fresh air swipes at it, but actually ends up passing it to Wilson, who then
Just
can't
like
get on
Liam Boyce
contest.
to Penrice at
Yeah,
Paradise, and
exactly.
he's taking that number 10 role seriously.
Be like, oh, you just do that, do you? That's how we score goals. Right, I'll do that.
Doing a
Um,
classic no look as he air swipes as
Yeah.
well.
Wilson can't get on the end of it. It's eventually pulled back for a foul. And then the last thing that happened in that half was Nisbet plays in Keskinen, who is
Oh my
completely
God.
through, but his effort goes narrowly wide of Gordon's far post. I feel like all three, it should have probably been 2-1 instead of 0-0.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very fair. We we could have and should have scored, but how Aberdeen don't score is beyond me.
Yeah, it's
Um,
crazy.
they're a weird case because now they're starting to really turn on Kevin Nisbet, I see.
Yeah,
I don't think they're impressed with Kevin Nisbet whatsoever. And obviously Pape Gay got injured a while back.
yep.
He was obviously grabbing a couple. I like Esther Sockler, but again, I think he's injured,
Yeah,
so
Soklas hurt as
or
well.
hasn't featured. Duke came off the bench, but again, like, do you start him as
He's now a
that
bit part
focal
player
point?
kind of
Yeah,
thing.
it's
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. It's a really odd case that they've got where it's like, again, these are the types of things that you don't notice if you're picking up results. Like,
Yeah.
I can remember a Kevin Nisbet winner up in Dingwall for them earlier on in the season.
Yeah. It was like
It
either his first or second game as well.
it's
Like it
like
was really early on.
it was fine then, but like all of a sudden you just, I don't know, you're blinded to the fact you. I don't blame them given the start that they went on to kind of get carried away or things like that. But I mean, it's a total 180 because it was like unbeaten in the first 11 and now they're winless in 11. Like, it's
Crazy.
crazy, absolutely crazy. Um, and it looked like a team that hadn't won in
Yeah.
11. I mean, they passed up good opportunities. The Keskin had won when he slides past the post.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, how on earth have you not buried that? And
Also,
he cost good money as well
think of the
by their
goals
standard.
that we conceded in the 3-2 loss that were like, how have these gone in? Whereas
Yeah,
the reverse is, how is that not going in? Kind of thing.
totally, totally. It just goes to show, like, momentum absolutely is everything in football.
Yeah.
Um, but I, the corner that they don't score, I mean, Jesus, that is just the wake up call of all wake up calls. I I was going to actually use a star on Jamie McCart's debut generally. I thought he was
So
pretty
was
good.
I. I was going to as well.
But I might also extend that to the two Craigs getting back in my good books.
Yeah.
In particular, Gordon, because that was a stunning save. And Halkett actually has proven that he can contribute,
When he's fit, he's
which is
our best
nice.
centre half.
But like, just he has these moments. I put it this way: the McCart Halkett partnership, that is the ideal start because I thought they worked really well together.
I do
It's a shame
agree.
that Rolls is off,
So
but
that's all I was going to say because I agree. And as I said last week, I'm probably going to be more critical of McCart than most because of my years of saying he's bad. But yeah, like apart from in the 72nd minute, we get a corner after new signing Kabangu comes on, and the first thing he does is hits a really powerful header towards goal, but Doohan kind of pushes it
It's a great
over.
save. Great save.
From the corner, McCart should probably score. He hits the post, but he has
Oh my
time.
God, I forgot about
He
that.
has
I didn't
time.
realize it was from that resulting corner. He
Yeah,
actually does. He doesn't. He's not aware of the time that he's got. In terms of Kabangu, it's a great header and even better
yeah.
save. But oh my God, that's
But that's what I was going to say.
that was
Regardless
the
of
only thing
that,
that was missing from his debut. To be fair,
yes,
was
he
Jamie
was he
McCart's
was
debut. But
very
other than
good.
that, it was really good.
I did feel in the first half it also did though show what roles is really good at. Immediately, I noticed that we now have two centre halves that can't really advance with the ball. Like that's what Rolls was good at. Halkett can play passes through areas, but can't really move with it. And I very quickly noticed, like, we don't have that outball to Rolls who'll just go on a 10-yard dash. McCart is just like, I will send this long, inexplicably, to James Wilson. But he did very well.
But then is that an onus on the centre halves or is that an onus on the midfield players to carve something
I
out?
think in
Is it a bit of both?
2025, you need at least one centre half who can do it. I don't think it needs to be a tactic, but it's just like now you probably need somebody who, if the going gets a wee bit tough, it's like, we've also got a centre half who can take it. So if the opposition start to drop deep, it's like our midfield doesn't need to drop as deep with us to pick up the ball. It's like, no, we can just get the centre half marauding forward.
Because my worry is if either Cammy Devlin or Benny Beningame receive it,
They can't drive.
no, no.
No,
They
like
they
they
they're
can't.
very much a give it on to like
Yeah,
Benny can
yeah,
from time to time, but it's very much a case of the ball is a bomb. Let's get this as far away from our goal as we
yeah,
possibly can
yeah.
and get it into ball players. I I think Craig Halkett is a better passer than most
Yes,
believe. I
100%.
I do think he can play from time to time, but again, it's mobility concerns for me.
Yeah,
Whereas you've probably said it there, where again carrying out has he got that pace to recover if we do give it away?
yeah,
I,
100%.
I'm not necessarily sure.
Now, I will say we're not going to speak about it because we never really do rumors on this show. We kind of just speak about like
Very
actual thing.
nice.
The rumor is we've got a guy who is fast and could bring the ball out, but then you're like,
And it's enormous.
yeah, it's huge. But then you go, does that mean the three at the back is coming back?
Please, for the love of God, no.
It's
That
Critchley's formation. He's played it at every single club.
you could just see it now. I swear, if I see Daniel Oyegoke trying to
Well,
cut like
I was going to
put
say, right,
crosses in up the
it
flank,
actually could benefit the majority of our players if
it would
this guy's
benefit
good.
Penrice.
Yeah, Penrice is a wing back going forward.
Penrice would be
Those
fantastic.
back three, Devlin breaking up play, and then,
That's what. Sorry, that's why Penrice was so good early on because Stephen Naismith tried a back
yeah,
three, and even then Penrice would just bomb on, and he looked very
100%.
good.
Devlin breaking up stuff, Benny recycling, and then either a number 10, which I would say yes, Blair Spittle, in behind Kabangu and somebody. It's like that all sounds lovely. But then you go, oh, wait, we need a right wing back, and we do not have one.
None at all. And then you see Liverpool loaning out Calvin Ramsey to Kilmarnock,
We
and
should have got that.
you think could we not have been in
Yeah,
amongst that? Like,
yeah.
that's a really annoying one.
But you're right. The focus should be on Jamie McCart because in terms of going away
It was really good.
to an opposition that, yes, their form was shit, but they've been like, they were third for like most of the season. We never win there, and he looked very assured.
And considering that obviously he had that 100% aerial duel record at
Yeah,
Tannadice to maintain, I thought he did a good job.
he did very well.
Um, yeah, that trio of McCart, Gordon, and Halkett, or McCart, Halkett, Gordon, they looked really solid. As I think we have defensively. I mean, like I say, 3 clean sheets against
Yeah.
top six teams just shows how well we're doing at one end. But I think this game certainly hammered home just
But
how
wait,
poor we are offensively.
We'll get because the only main thing you speak about is the last thing that happened, which is a negative. So, what are your two other stars from this game? I have one if you don't have one immediately.
Oh, two other stars. I would probably say how lively Elton Cabangu looked off the bench would be
That
one.
was going to be one of mine as well because he just looks assured.
Just looks as though he's going to be a nuisance.
Yeah.
I really want him to score, so that'd just be great.
Uh-huh.
I would love for him to net the winner against Kelly and just be like, yes, we've
Same. I'm
arrived
like, do
here.
it when I'm there
This,
because I'm no going to
this,
Brechin.
neither am I, but this would be class. Um, and yeah, so I would say McCart, Cabangu, or just the defensive unit, Cabangu, and what would my other star be?
You've still not said
Um,
what I thought you were first going to say.
because I talked about kind of the momentum and even I mean, obviously everybody's done kind of the league table win since Critchley's come in, and
Yeah.
it makes for healthy reading. It looks solid, looks strong, but um, I don't know. What are you thinking in terms of the final?
Just again, and I think this game summed it up. I thought he was the best player on the pitch, and it's like, oh,
James Penrice.
he genuinely
Yeah.
for me would be our next captain. It's just Cammy Devlin under Critchley is unreal.
I can't believe that it's taken us this long to
So I
chat
was going to
about
say, so
the
that
story that's
perfectly,
broken.
yeah, right. So as I'll try and recount it as it happened because on Friday it came out through Barry Anderson that Cammy Devlin was subject to interest from Portsmouth and New York City FC. And the kind
Two
of,
very similar places,
yeah,
two very
exactly.
similar lifestyles.
Yep. And kind of just various other clubs like that. But the big talking point was that he had a release clause of 280 grand. Now, that sends shockwaves into the fan base. There's a lot of rage. Then later that afternoon, Neil Critchley does a press conference where it's
And
the
is understandably asked about it.
yeah, and it's easily the angriest I've seen him, where he's speaking about how it's unacceptable that information like that gets leaked. Whoever it was, it doesn't have Heart's best interest at mind. But interestingly, also then says it's inaccurate. Now, there's kind of if you I would encourage people if they can go to the Heart Standard YouTube channel and actually listen to Critchley saying it because it's hard to tell if he means the thing that's inaccurate is the club's interested or the release clause. The release clause is what it seems like, and interestingly, the thing that I I was sent by my mate is that in his write up of it, Barry Anderson didn't include the inaccuracy comment. He just continued the rest of that.
Convenient.
Yeah. Um. Listen,
Just say as well, I did see that Portsmouth announced the signing of Isaac
Isaac
Hayden.
Hayden. Yeah.
So then you then wonder, okay, so if they've gone, because Barry Anderson even said that in his piece. He said, I'm not going to quote exactly, but he said something along the lines of Portsmouth are after a combative midfielder to try and help their aid to stay in the help their quest to stay in the championship, something along those lines. And then I see they announced the signing of Isaac Hayden. I'm thinking, brilliant, okay, that's the defensive midfielder ticked off. Hopefully, this then means that they're going to keep their mitts off Cammy Devlin because that would be nice. But then there's also a part of me that thinks Hearts released the video of Cammy Devlin and Kai Rolls doing the compare Scotland to Australia. Is it now going to be compare America to Australia? Because if Kai Rolls is set for DC, Washington DC is not far from New York. Could Cammy then be tempted? And I know that he loves New York. I know that he's been to New York. I've seen pictures on Instagram of he and his girlfriend having a whale of a time. So I'm really worried. I really hope that
Well, this is what I was going to say.
this can't happen, and
My
certainly not for
stance on
that
it,
low a fee.
my st-
It's clearly because sorry, McIver. It's
no,
clearly
you're
because
fine.
Stephen Naismith deemed him surplus to requirements. This was corrected in September when he signed the extension or whenever it was, and they've chucked that release fee clause in to then go. Well, if somebody else wants me, I'm free. discuss my future with other clubs, which is fine. I've got no problem with that. You can do whatever you like, Cam Dog.
I've got a problem with the amount of the release fee, though. I don't mind
Oh,
that folk put release
it's a
clause.
dis
Listen,
it's a
release clauses are a
disgraceful
thing.
fee.
Yeah, release clauses are a thing. They are a very important thing, especially for players. So it means that they can't really be like held hostage at clubs and stuff like that. And it I've seen talk being like, it's bullshit that we accepted a release clause. It's like that's not a thing now. You can't not
No,
do that. But if the only option on the table was nothing or a release clause of that, what is the point in that as a release clause? That to us is
yeah,
nothing. Listen,
it's an insult. It is an
I've
absolute insult.
seen stuff and I remember hearing it at the time, and then I've seen it closer to this week, and I'm like, well, that's a very specific number, and that it's weird if it's not. We apparently sold Keo for 800 grand, right?
Which is wild.
If we
That's
get,
that's like Celtic levels of getting money for their
yeah,
players.
if we get just a wee bit more than that for roles and Cammy, I've not really spoken about the role. I'm so angry at the role situation, but that I'm waiting until he's officially gone because I could have
That's
half an hour on that.
that's the Rangers fee of
Yeah,
players.
exactly.
Literally,
Yeah,
is like Celtic have got like I don't know, they got 3 million for some boy that never even made a first team appearance to
yeah.
Stoke. Is it Bosun Lawal or something? And then
Dickhead.
you look at Rangers losing these numpties like Kent and Morelos on free transfers. It's
Yeah.
like the two are just streets apart with that sort of thing. But
So,
again, how can you get Kia Murtsoglu nailed for the money that we got for him, yet two Australian internationals, one of whom you tied on a long-term contract because he performed well at the World Cup, and the other was there and has been capped for them 4 times, signed an extension with the club till May 2026. And the pair of them, if they were to leave for less than £1 million, that would be a genuine crime. Like,
yeah.
what are we doing here?
As I say, I will get into my opinion on the roles thing because I could go so in depth on this, but I'm going to wait until he leaves to see how much the actual fee is. But to stay on the positivity, Cammy Devlin and Neil Critchley has been a revelation. We already liked him. This podcast was a very staunch Cammy Devlin podcast,
We
and
were
it's nothing
definitely
to
him.
do with personal interference or anything like that. I can promise you.
We're tight. We're
Yeah.
tight.
But I don't even think I could have imagined how he's like, apart from Penrice, he's been our player of the season. He's
Yeah,
been
he's a player
exceptional.
reborn under the new manager. And I have spoken briefly to Cammy, and my first question was, "What's it been like under the new manager?" And good, and he's again, Critchley seems to really like him, so I think there's a good relationship building there, which is great. However, if that was to go down the Swanee to, with all due respect, Portsmouth or New York, I, I'm not going to be happy. And again, for the fee, like I just, oh,
Yeah.
it makes you wonder what we're actually doing, like as a football club. And look, again, I've been critical of the amount of money that Hearts don't get for their players. Um, but I would genuinely like. I mean, that's an insult. Those fees.
Yeah.
It makes you. It is no surprise there to see why we've lost players, over the years for next to nothing. If you're going to let these two go for pretty much bugger all as well.
Aye, exactly. But we will get the final action of the game, and I imagine it's tied into your wish for the points because in the 92nd minute, Heart of Midlothian, to end the 9 year run without a win at Pittodrie, gets a penalty after Nielsen, not our Nielsen, either manager or player, fouls Kenny Vargas in the box. But
He actually could be another star. I thought Vargas looked
Vargas, he
hungry.
had that chance
I
where he ran through and
thought
then
he looked
Shinnie
all
made a
right.
block. Yeah, he looked all
Yeah,
right. Fair play to you, Kenny.
genuinely, it was as though his previous kind of his pre-comment form. How am I best? Like he was never outstanding, Vargas. I liked him,
Yeah,
um, but he looked as though he wanted to try and contribute and get his place back in the team with this cameo. So I thought that's all right. I don't mind that. And again, he may well have been the hero in terms of winning us the spot kick, but it just wasn't to be.
because it wasn't him who took it. It wasn't the new striker who was on the pitch. It was the man who, up until that point, had taken three penalties for Hearts, had scored three. It was kind of public knowledge that when Shankland isn't on the pitch, George Grant takes them. But his penalty is saved by Doohan and goals onto the post. It ends 0-0. Now, I came back to social media for one day to send a tweet about Liam Boyce, and that's my one tweet for the year. But I've heard through the grapevine, a la you, that you got loads of stick on Twitter after this game for the derisory remarks you made about George Grant being given the penalty.
Which wasn't my intention. Let me get this clear. I was
Your Honour.
merely I was merely engaging in conversation. I was intrigued to get people's thoughts. I hold my hands up. I was blissfully unaware that George Grant was 3 from 3 for the spot. I remember the St Mirren penalty, the Celtic penalty. Can't for the life of me remember who the other one's against. Um, but that's fine. I was intrigued to get people's thoughts. Now, does that merit being met with the abuse that I was? Probably not.
Do you understand why I've left social media now?
Social media is a cesspit.
Yeah,
But
shite.
I need it for
Football social
the
media
career.
specifically as
Oh,
well.
I need it for the career
Yeah.
that I've chosen and one that I want to pursue, which is fine. I've got no problem with that. I was all I was doing was trying to put the feelers out.
And those fellas came back with, go fuck yourself.
Like, and again, people that replied to it, I was able to engage in conversation with them. That's great. That's all I set out to do. That's all I wanted to achieve. But then I see tweets being like about like you know nothing and like oh just this I can see why this has happened, that's happened. Like cool, no worries, mate. At the end of the day, I give my opinion. If that's right or wrong, again, like I said about the Union Bears, I give my opinion whether it's
Don't
right or
link
wrong.
yourself to the Union Bears for the love of God when
I've
you're
I've
trying to
I've
make a good image of yourself.
no 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 no. But anyway, everybody's entitled to their opinion is my point. And I just thought a new centre for. I thought I'm trying to view this positively as well. There's people being like, "Oh, if Cabango had taken it and missed, then he's written off by the fan base."
Fuck
Which, in
off.
fairness, knowing the
But
Hearts
that would be,
fans,
yeah, but that would not be his fault. That would be
oh,
idiotic fans.
McIver, I wholeheartedly agree. But that you know what Hearts fans are like. I
Yeah,
mean, this tweet proves it.
yeah,
So I then thought, I thought if he takes it, scores. Nets the winner for us at Pittodrie, like the perfect start to his Hearts career. It could not have gone any better. Um, but then of course, like George Grant, it's like, okay, fine. I just now we're just gonna have to every Pittodrie trip, like he never has to play at
well,
Pittodrie again.
he's not like this
Like
sounds
this,
harsh, but very literally, as you said to me on the weekend, he's cost us 5 points.
well, I'm not sure I said that.
Somebody did to me. I thought it was you.
Wasn't no, I
Somebody
don't think
said
it
to
was me.
me that like if you look at it, if you strip back like the context of football, it's
No, that
like
definitely wasn't me. Cost
George
us three
Grant.
here.
Yeah, but and
Cost
then
us
it's
three here
like
out back. But what
we
was the
were
other? The 3-2.
yeah because we were drawing and then he gets sent off.
I suppose. Yeah.
That's what I
I
mean.
did.
I can't remember who said that to me.
I can see where they're coming from,
I thought it
but
was you.
no, but
I thought it was you were on your tirade.
cost us at the weekend. But again, like I think this is something else where it's like I can appreciate that he's got the balls to step up and take that. That's at least he's not shying away from it. At least he doesn't give it to somebody else out of spite. Like that's fine. If you're the designated penalty taker, we get a spot kick in the last minute. You step up and take it. That's fine. What I can't understand is people's mixed reception on this as well in terms of the actual spot kick itself. I think it's a great height for the goalkeeper, but I also think that it does look really accurate in terms of the way that it's placed. So I think it's a good save. Personally, I don't think it's a bad penalty. I think it's a good save.
It's a good save.
But then I also see people being like perfect height for the goalie, which I get. But again, I think it's right in the corner. I just think the goalkeeper does really well. And
I
I
think it's a
actually
good
thought
save.
I thought Ross Doohan made a couple of great saves. The one from
Yeah.
Cabango is excellent. The penalty saves, obviously, first class. Um, I don't know. I think there's a lot of anger around because of, as you say, it's not the happiest hunting ground for us. There's been a long wait to win up there. The chance that to eventually pull away from 11th, which I can't believe we're still even in 11th. Um, just all these multitude of reasons. People then going on about George Grant's previous Pittodrie debacle, and then they link it back to Zurich and other games that he's cost us. I'm like, right, okay, fair enough. But on the
Well,
whole, it
I,
wasn't the best
I was just going to
performance, but
say,
it's a point gained on the road, I think.
I was just going to say, I didn't watch it because I knew he'd miss. I turned the stream off because I went, it's George Grant, he'll miss. And I don't mean that in terms of, I knew he'd scored all his penalties. But for me, I was like, nah, again, going completely the opposite to what whoever that was said, where it's like, George Grant's cost us 5 points. I went, nah, to go fully back into the context of football and the context of George Grant. I was like, yeah, but this penalty is the most important penalty. This is a penalty that can define, like, we've no won here in 9 years. And I was like, and we're trusting it with a guy who, in the biggest moments, has let us down. I was just like, he's got to fucking miss this.
And has openly talked about wanting to stay as well. Some boy. Fair
Yeah.
play. I mean, he has got some set of cojones on him,
As
considering the
as you
money that
say,
we've spent on him. Jesus.
fair play for taking it. I still would not have had him take it, and I definitely would not. If he's still here next season, honest
It
to
won't be.
God, man, he
It,
better
it,
not
it,
be.
it can't. It can't be.
He better not be.
Otherwise,
But
it won't be. This that's maybe another star. This released list is going to hit like
oh, it's
crack
gonna be great. I
in the
can't
summer.
wait.
I can't wait. I really can't.
It's gonna be
Because some
amazing.
of these, I'm just like, yeah, I'm done. I'm totally done.
Well, some of these might be the last appearance this Friday night as Hearts. Oh
Oh,
boy, we're
are
here.
we not? Are
What?
we not doing the wish?
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot that the Grant thing we didn't actually say. I assume the wish is, can we get goal scorers, please?
Just any form of attacking output
Yeah,
would be
yeah,
great.
that's it.
Besides
Sorry,
Elton
I thought we'd
Kabangu,
get it.
I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, I see the links to this Kazakhstani winger, which
Yep.
is quite exciting.
I don't
Um,
think we'll get him. He seems too good for us.
the Danny Armstrong thing seems to have gone quiet again.
Yeah, I think it was happening with
It'd be quite funny if we announced them pre-Killy.
that. By the way,
But
Danny, just stay there because we're coming to you, mate, to get you. Oh no, he's coming. Get on the team bus. It's like the Royal Rumble's in 2 weeks. It's like he gets on the Killy bus, comes out of Tynecastle, and then walks to the
yeah,
dressing room, and
yeah.
it's the biggest thing ever. What an announcement video that would be.
I've now got in my head. Do you remember when Jordan Jones left Kilmarnock to sign a
Yeah,
pre-contract with Rangers, but scored the winner for Kilmarnock
yeah.
against Rangers?
Oh my
Is he?
God.
He's going to do something similar,
Oh,
isn't
it's
he?
gonna happen, isn't it?
Well,
It's
he's
gonna happen.
daft Luis Suarez like
Oh
armband tape
God.
thing, and he's just going to get it right up you. Oh, hold on a second, I'm actually joining you in a couple
Yeah.
of weeks.
Thoughts?
Oh, couple of
Yeah.
months. Oh
But yes,
no.
I'd like some forwards.
I'd just like somebody on the right hand side. Another
Yeah.
option on the left would be great, but sign a striker. Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, I also think it seems like the skipper. I mean, are you buying the Lawrence Shankland injury malarkey?
Yeah, because he keeps traveling with every single squad and is like sat in the stands looking raging that he can't play. So I do think he is just hurt. Like, I don't
Okay.
think, because see, if it wasn't, I don't think Critchley would have specified that he's back in February because he knows how that sounds if he wasn't hurt. He knows that it's like,
Fair.
well, that sounds really obvious.
Yeah,
So if he
dodgy.
wasn't
Yeah.
hurt, he'd be like, oh, he's back
That's
in
probably what he's raging at.
games to,
He's
yeah,
raging that he's
probably.
just been brought along. I
Yeah,
don't think he is injured. He's raging that he's been brought
yeah.
along.
But
Xander
yeah.
Clark again. Is that another whereby like could he?
Well,
Oh,
it's apparently
uh,
his knee again.
the mind boggles. But I I think we'll see a couple exits in the coming days, as you said, pre Brechin, and I just hope that there's an arrival or two,
Yeah.
particularly offensively. Otherwise, we're just leaving ourselves so short, in my opinion.
But yes, it's like the most horrific Vietnam flashbacks as Hearts travel to a Highland League team in the Scottish Cup. Oh my God, it's going to happen again. That's all that's going
It's
through my
not.
head. It's not going to
It's
happen
not.
again. But
It's
still,
not.
now, I would just like to
Don't
quickly
even
say,
don't even speak this into existence.
yeah,
The fact that it's a Friday night is a little bit,
yeah,
but
it's like,
no,
no.
it's not.
I would like to just quickly mention something because I noticed it in an email. Thank you very much to listener Ryan McQueen, who sent in a big email kind of giving his thoughts of the club just now. And I am going to read it out, but just not tonight. I want to read it out at the end of the window because the way he's written it is quite interesting because he gives a summation at the end of where the club is. And I'd like us to, at the end of the window, kind of go back and
See if we've
perhaps get
addressed that
Ryan
or
to see
whatever.
if we've
Yeah.
addressed the issues he had. But
Okay.
publicly, just want to say, Ryan, thank you for your email. We have got it. But
Thanks, Ryan.
on Friday, we go to Brechin. Killian Sheridan has become every Hearts fan's favourite player in the last 24 hours after
You
it turned out
mentioned
he
Anthony
saved our club.
McDonald earlier as well.
Yeah,
Kevin
exactly.
McCarthy, Brad Mackay.
I
You take
know.
your
Everybody's there.
pick.
Yeah, Kevin Mackay's absolutely scoring. So's Brad Mackay. But we travel
Could
up
be
to the
Brad Mackay
hedge.
from a Kevin McCarthy corner.
Yeah. Saw that a la 13, 14, maybe once ever.
Oh.
We travel to the hedge on Friday night. What is your score prediction?
Brechin City 0, Heart Midlothian 2.
I was going to say Brechin City 0, Heart of Midlothian 3.
Nice. Okay.
So we're
I hope
actually
we're right.
confident.
I
Oh my
really hope we're
god.
right.
It would be so us, by the way, to break the clean sheet thing against Brechin.
Oh, 100%. And then probably keep one against Kelly
Yeah,
at
we've just
Tynecastle on a
kept it
long
against
overdue win.
third,
Like, no
fourth, and
worries.
sixth or fifth or something like that. Like
Yeah.
three of the top five. Yep, no, but most of them away from home. No bother at all. Brechin,
Ah,
shit.
and it'll be one of our former players.
Yeah,
Absolutely
exactly.
guaranteed.
Yeah, it will be. So yeah, a very confident thought process. Now we then move on to the quiz. I will say this:
Oh, dear God.
it's quite Killy themed because I forgot we're not playing Killy. So
Nothing about Brechin at all.
yeah,
Right.
one of
Okay.
the questions is entirely about a week's times game, but
Oh,
it's
dear
fine.
God.
Doesn't
Right.
matter. Yeah,
Okay.
there's literally nothing to do with Brechin, but there is something to do with a Highland League club.
Oh, okay.
Right. So
Right.
you've got two multiple choices:
Right.
a true or false, and a normal question, and the who am I.
Okay.
I
All right.
also, I'm really worried my phone fucked up, and we have done the who am I before, but my phone
Oh,
just
dear
didn't tell me.
God.
So
Oh, no.
this is going to be a laugh. Number one, this is your first multiple choice.
Okay.
Or actually, I'm going to see if you can do it without the options.
Right. Okay.
Liam Boyce departed Hearts as the seventh top goal scorer in our lifetime, as I said.
Jesus.
But who is the surprising name in the top five of our lifetime?
Surprising name in the top 5 of our lifetime. No, I'm gonna have to hear
That's
options.
fine.
I'm sorry.
Is it A, Paul Hartley? Is it B, Callum Patterson? Is it C, Stephen Naismith? Or is it D, Gary McSwiggan? Or McSwiggan,
Oh,
however you say it.
you've gone rogue with the Gary McSwiggan shout. But is that you trying some daft double bluff?
I will tell you,
I'll be
I'll
honest.
give you this, right?
I don't think Paul Hartley is as rogue as you make out.
I'll tell you this. All of these men are in the top 12 goal scorers in our lifetime.
I was going to say that doesn't surprise me because Paul Hartley is just the king, the
So
GOAT.
all of them are credible answers. I've not just thrown in like an Osman Soul who scored goals but not for very long.
Callum Patterson obviously did have his spell up front, although was predominantly at right back. Stephen Naismith. Gary McSwiggan. You know, just because it's the most, I'm going to leave it with the most unlikely out that 4 for me. I'm going to go Gary McSwiggan.
So I will do them in reverse order in terms of like who scored the least.
So from like 10th to
Yeah.
2nd.
So
Right, okay.
out of these four, I can tell you includes
Gary
the
McSwiggan scored the least.
includes the fifth, sixth, 12th, and 13th. Sorry, not the top 10. 12th, 5th, 6th, 12th, 13th in our lifetime.
Okay.
No, 11th, 12th. In 11th, in 12th, sorry, is Stephen Naismith.
Wow. Okay.
In 11th, just outside the top 10, is Gary McSwiggan.
Ah, you bastard.
In 6th,
Wait,
one
can
goal.
I guess now? Is it going to be Callum Patterson that's in the top 5?
2 goals behind, sorry, number 5 in 6th.
Hmm.
is Paul Hartley.
Oh, you bastard. I was going to go Patterson as well.
And in our lifetime, the fifth top goal scorer with 39 goals is Callum Patterson.
Not a lot, is it?
But
Jesus.
for Callum Patterson,
Yeah, that's
that is
mad.
hunters.
That's mad. Oh, that's so annoying. I literally was because I just discounted Hartley and Naismith, but I was torn
I'm
between those
so
two.
glad I put McSwiggan because I was going to put
Oh
Andy
man.
Kirk. But then it was like, no, but Andy Kirk's like a goal scorer kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like,
oh, that's really annoying. That is one of your perfectly executed double bluffs. Fuck
yes,
you.
it is. 0 out of 1. Question 2 is the true or false?
I can see a, I can see a donut coming here. I really can.
True or
Talk to me.
false? If the league table started when Critchley came in, Hearts would be in a European spot.
True.
I threw one at you because of that bastard one. Yes, it is true. Well done.
Thank God. Did I see that if we hadn't pissed away the points against County and won at Pittodrie, it would have been only Celtic? Am I right
Yeah,
in saying that?
literally only Celtic. And some
That's
folk won't
mad.
crit. Some folk are like, is Critchley the right person to take us
No,
forward?
I'm behind the gaffer.
Question 3, and it is your
Thank God for
only.
that. Can I just say I don't give a shit what happens now.
Yeah.
Thank God for that.
Question number 3, it's your only standard question.
Normal question. Okay.
Hearts travel to Brechin this Friday night to play in the Highland League. However, when Hearts last played the Highland League side in the Scottish Cup, who scored for Hearts in the game? Now, the
So
only reason I've
was
not
that the
given
Brora
you,
defeat? Yes.
yeah, Brora defeat. The only reason I've not given you options here is because I have no idea why. I just knew this. I just went, I think it's this person, and it was.
Was it not Christoph Berra?
Is that your answer?
No, I'm in two minds now. Because I also thought I seem to remember Gary Mackay-Steven being good in the game. Liam Boyce featured, but something tells me Berra. I think did we not score from a corner? Was it not Christoph Berra?
Correct. It is
Yeah.
Christoph Berra. I don't know why. I just knew that. I just
Oh.
remembered Berra scoring. So we went behind the 12th minute. Berra scored in the 71st, and then in the 75th, they went ahead.
Jesus, we're only level for 4 minutes.
Yeah.
That's a disgrace.
It's like, this is what I mean. I understand people saying that the Petro Cub result is the worst considering the money and that. But for me, it is not even in the same stratosphere as Brora because it's still in like a
No.
European competition and stuff like that. Like, mad.
Wow. Jesus.
Final, you see, you've done 2 out of 3.
That's all right, to
Smashing
be
it.
fair.
Question number 4. When was the last? This is the killy question that I thought we had. When was the last time Hearts beat Kilmarnock in the league at Tynecastle? Is it A, December 2022? Is it B, August 2022? Is it C, May 2019? Or D, November 2018?
Oh, I don't. So it was 2022 under Robbie Nielsen because Derek McInnes was the manager of Killie. But I don't think it was as soon as early as August. Because did we not? Was that not a draw? Was that not like a 0-0 or a 1-1 or something? Were these all meetings with Killie? Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
all
not.
these
Yeah.
games are games with Kilmarnock.
What was the first? What was the first one? December
First one is
2022.
December 2022, August 2022, May 2019, November 2018.
I'm gonna go December 22.
I think you're thinking of the season
Oh
later. I think
no.
the 0-0 draw was 23-24. Was that not this time this time
Oh,
last
maybe,
season? Was that not that where we
maybe.
drew 0-0 at home and then Killy went in a really good run and you looked back at it and going, actually, that's a no bad result. However, it doesn't matter because you're still right.
Oh,
December
nice.
2022, we won 3-1.
3-1.
I
Wow.
cannot remember
Jesus.
that game at all.
Neither can I. I'm just going on to have a look at that. Sorry, Mikhail. I'm getting up FOTMob in the head-to-head. So
Yeah.
Jesus. December 22, Janelli. Yeah, I remember Shanklin scored, and I don't remember Josh Janelli scored. Ash Taylor scored for Killy. Jesus.
the rogue times that was December 2022.
Gordon, Cochrane, Kingsley, Halkett, Halliday, Snodgrass, Devlin, Smith, Janelli, Mackay, Shankland.
Christ.
Bloody hell. Danny
Who's within
Armstrong got
Connor
an assist
Smith?
in that game. Of course he did. Probably the corner. So we've not beaten Kelly in the league since then.
Nah.
Or no, at
At
Tynecastle, sorry.
Tynecastle, yeah.
But even then, I think we've won once.
We
And
won
that
in the
was 1
cup at
nil.
Rugby Park. Alex
And then
Lowry
we beat
goal.
them in the following league game. But
Yeah,
that's our only league win. Bloody hell, since then.
some laugh. So, you have got 3 out of 4.
Not bad. We will take that. We will
Absolutely
take
take
that.
that into the who I am worried we have done.
Okay.
And that is not me trying to double bluff you. I legitimately really worried that we have actually done this. Right, are you ready?
Talk to me.
I have scored against Hearts in my career. I've played in Scotland, Azerbaijan, Turkey, France, and Germany. When I joined Hearts, the manager at the time said I'd be a big hit, but I only managed 3 goal contributions in just under 70 games. And to finally add, I've won 2 trophies in my career. Who am I?
Scotland, Azerbaijan. What were the countries?
Scotland, Azerbaijan, Turkey, France, and Germany.
A big hit.
So
Three
what he was
goals.
called?
3 goal contributions in how many? 70
Just
games.
under 70 games.
Jesus whipped. I'm going to have to ask for the position to give me some form of clue. I really hope that this is not a centre forward or we could be struggling here. I
According to
hope that this is
Wikipedia,
a winger or somewhere.
this player is an attacking midfielder.
Christ. Azerbaijan. Like the other nations, it's like fine, fair enough, but that's oh my God. Scotland, Azerbaijan, France, Germany, or no, Spain, Germany. What was it?
Scotland, Azerbaijan, Turkey, France, Germany.
Turkey, France, Germany. Turkey, France, Germany. An attacking midfielder.
That's what Wikipedia says.
I'm getting like a Medi towel in my head.
Okay.
Continuing this kind of Kilmarnock theme in the quiz.
Where I've just like absolutely fucked it.
uh, I don't think he wasn't that much an attacking midfielder, was he? We made the title. He was more a sitter from what I remember. Oh God, I have absolutely no idea who this is. Um, I'm gonna ask for the list of clubs in order, please, McIver, to try and give me something, but I've no idea.
I never know how to pronounce this. It's not Nantes because that's Nates, but is it just Nancy? Like,
Nancy,
yeah,
Nancy. Yeah,
yeah, not
Nancy.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
FC Nuremberg, Montpellier, Kilmarnock, Heart of Midlothian, Sivasspor in Turkey, the Turkey lot, and AZAL from Azerbaijan,
Who?
who don't exist anymore.
So we signed him from Kelly. I'm gonna go with him purely because he was in my head. I'm gonna go Medi Towel. No idea.
I've just seen a really interesting fact that could have been a cool clue, where it's following the release of Gary Wales. Mehdi Taoul was given the number 10
Oh,
shirt.
wow.
Come on, that could have been a cool thing where it's like
Jesus.
Gary Wales is now the
Have
media
we
guy.
done Medi Towel?
I don't think so, but we have. Yeah, yeah. So basically, the original clue was going to be I have scored against Hearts for our next league visitors.
Uh yeah,
But
that
then I
would
was
make
like,
sense.
that's
I
too
don't
easy.
I'm just having a wee browse. I don't think we've done him. I'm
I
just
don't
going
think
through
we
the
have. I just panicked that we
no.
did.
He was one of them that I was considering doing.
Yeah. So yeah, Jeffrey said he was going to be a big hit.
I was going to say that just sounds like something that the Jet would say
And then the two trophies he's won is the Scottish Cup with
because
us.
he's on the bench. That's right.
He
And
came
he's,
on.
oh my God, did he? I
Yeah, I'm
genuinely
pretty
don't
sure he
remember
came
that at
on.
all.
Hold on.
And was the other with Kelly? No.
No, it was with FC Nuremberg. They won the Bundesliga 2.
Ah, the Bundesliga's five. Sehr good. Yeah, no, I don't think we've done we made the title. I quite liked him. I thought he was all right. It
Aye, I
was it
thought it
was
was fine.
it was no better than all right. But
Meditowell
yeah.
came on in the 85th minute to replace Andy Driver.
Oh my God, I could not have told you that.
I remember him
Jesus.
running on and laughing, being like, "This is where we are. This is the best day of my life. We're just bringing on Meditowell for a laugh."
I do not remember him coming on that game at all. How David Templeton did not get on, but Medi fucking Towell did, is a disgrace.
Insane. But also a laugh, which is key.
Oh man. Decent.
Right.
Oh, that was a good
You
quiz. I
smashed
enjoyed
that.
that.
The
I
one that
enjoyed
you
that.
nearly got five if you just hadn't double bluffed yourself.
I hate myself. I really do. But that's all right. That's just the way of it.
Well, let us know if you managed to get Meditowel as well. And let us know if you have enjoyed the episode. If you have, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you've been watching on YouTube, please leave a podcast review on whatever platform you listen to us. Perth to Paisley on all forms of social media. Perth to Paisley at gmail.com if you want to fire us over an email. Adam, where can they get you on all the socials?
You can get me on all the socials watching a compilation of Medi Towell's best skills at Adam T. Kendo.
And honestly, I now just am worried about what you're going to do next week because I've taken up a Killy Who Am I potential and a Killy question. So I'm going to get some absolutely horrific questions. And I'm
Yeah,
terrified.
you left yourself a bit short there, mate.
Yeah, exactly. I
Just
don't
a
know what's
little
going to
bit.
happen. But until then, and who knows what's going to happen between now and then, there could be new signings, players departing, another horrific result against Highland League opposition, but it'll be fine. Don't
Don't
worry.
stop speaking that into
Yeah,
existence.
it'll be fine. We'll be fine. Until then, we'll see you next time. Bye bye.